Hello and welcome to the session on motion under central forces. There are four fundamental forces in nature. They are gravitational force, electrostatic force, nuclear forces or strong forces, and the weak forces. The electrostatic force includes magnetic force and electromagnetic force. First one, gravitational force. The force of attraction between any two material bodies in the universe is called gravitational force. This force of attraction between any two objects in the universe is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This force acts along the line joining the center of masses of the two bodies, that is, F is proportional to m1 into m2 divided by r square. F is equal to g into m1 into m2 divided by r square, where m1 and m2 are two point masses separated by a distance r, and g is the universal gravitational constant. It is a weak force. Gravitational pull of the Earth's one moon provides the centripetal force for the moon to go around the Earth. The birth and death of the stars is governed by this force. Second one, the electrostatic force. The force experienced by the two electric charges at rest is called the electrostatic force. Like charges repel, unlike charges attract. The force of attraction or repulsion between two point charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This is Coulomb's law, that is, F is proportional to Q1 into Q2 divided by r square. That is, F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by r square, where Q1 and Q2 are two point charges separated by distance r, and epsilon naught is a constant called permittivity of free space. The magnetic force. The forces experienced by the two magnetic poles are called magnetic force. Like poles repel, unlike poles attract. The magnetic force is due to charges in motion. The electromagnetic force. When a moving electric charge enters a magnetic field, it experiences a force. The moving charge produces magnetic field. Thus, the electric and magnetic effects are inseparable, and hence this force is called the electromagnetic force. This force also acts over large distances, and there is no need of any intervening medium, and very strong compared to the gravitational force. The electric force between two protons is 10 raised to 36 times the gravitational force between them for any separation between the two protons. Third one, strong or nuclear forces. The force of attraction experienced by the two nucleons, that is neutrons comma protons, of the nucleus is called nuclear force. It is the strongest attractive force. It is a short range force. It does not depend upon the nature of charges. Fourth one, the weak forces. The forces with which two elementary particles interact are called the weak force. The interaction between a beta particle and a neutrino is due to weak force. Relative strength of the four forces. Let strong force is equal to 1, electromagnetic force is equal to 10 raised to minus 2, weak force is equal to 10 raised to minus 13, gravitational force is equal to 10 raised to minus 38. Equivalent one body problem. Two body central force problem deals with the motion of two bodies under a mutual central force. Example, the motion of the Earth around Sun under the mutual force of gravitational force. We can study the motion easily if we reduce the motion of the two particles to that of a single particle of reduced mass mu in the same field. The position coordinate vector r of the center of mass of a system of particles is given by m into vector r is equal to summation I mi vector ri, where m is the total mass of the system and m is equal to summation mi. Vector r is the position vector of the ith mass mi. Mi ri is the moment of mass around the origin. If the center of mass is taken as center of the coordinate system, then vector r is equal to 0. That is summation I mi into vector ri is equal to 0. Consider two particles of masses m1 and m2. If vector r1 and vector r2 are their position vectors and modulus of vector r1 and modulus of vector r2 are their distances from the center of mass, then m1 into vector r1 plus m2 into vector r2 is equal to 0. That is, modulus of vector r1 divided by modulus of vector r2 is equal to minus m2 divided by m1. In general, vector r into m1 plus m2 is equal to m1 into vector r1 plus m2 into vector r2. Differentiating, we get vector r dot into m1 plus m2 is equal to m1 into vector r1 dot plus m2 into vector r2 dot. Let it be equation number 1. Vector r is equal to m1 into vector r1 dot plus m2 into vector r2 dot all divided by m1 plus m2. Differentiating again, we get vector r double dot is equal to m1 into vector r1 double dot plus m2 into vector r2 double dot all divided by m1 plus m2. Let it be equation number 2. Consider two bodies moving under gravitational force which is a central force. The equation of motion of the two bodies is m1 into vector r1 double dot is equal to minus of g into m1 m2 divided by r square into r cap. Let it be equation number 3. m2 into vector r2 double dot is equal to plus g into m1 m2 divided by r square into r cap. Let it be equation number 4, where r cap is a unit vector along vector r is equal to vector r1 minus vector r2 and r square is equal to square of modulus of vector r1 minus vector r2. The negative sign in equation 3 shows that the two forces are opposite in direction. Adding equation 3 and 4, we get m1 into vector r1 double dot plus m2 into vector r2 double dot is equal to 0. Let it be equation number 5. Substituting in equation 2, we get vector r double dot is equal to 0. Integrating equation 5, we get m1 into vector r1 dot plus m2 into vector r2 dot is equal to a constant. Let it be equation number 6. Hence, vector r dot is equal to m1 into vector r1 dot plus m2 into vector r2 dot all divided by m1 plus m2 is equal to a constant. Let it be equation number 7. The velocity of center of mass is constant with respect to the arbitrary coordinate system and its acceleration is 0. Equation of motion for one body problem. From equation 3 and 4, we have vector r1 double dot is equal to minus 1 by m1 into g into m1 m2 divided by r square into r cap, and vector r2 double dot is equal to 1 by m2 into g into m1 m2 divided by r square into r cap. Let it be equation number 8. Vector r1 double dot minus vector r2 double dot is equal to minus of 1 by m1 plus 1 by m2 into g into m1 m2 by r square into r cap. That is, vector r double dot is equal to minus 1 by mu into g into m1 m2 divided by r square into r cap, where 1 by mu is equal to 1 by m1 plus 1 by m2 and mu is equal to m1 m2 divided by mu1 plus mu2, which is equal to m1 m2 divided by m. Mu is called the reduced mass or effective mass. Mu into vector r double dot is equal to minus of g into m1 m2 divided by r square into r cap, which is equal to f of r into r cap, which is equal to vector f of r. Let it be equation number 9. This is the equation of motion of a particle having a mass mu moving under the action of force vector f of r. Such a reduction of a two-body problem to an equivalent one-body problem is very convenient. The motion can be considered as that of the reduced mass concentrated at one of the point masses and revolving around the second point mass. Equation 9 can be written as vector r double dot is equal to minus of g into m divided by r square into r cap. Let it be equation number 10. Equation 10 shows that the magnitude of the acceleration of one point with respect to other is independent of the position of the observer. That is, whatever the observer is at mass point m1 or m2, but the directions will be opposite. If the observer is at the center of mass, the equation 8 will hold good. Let m2 is very larger than m1, then m is approximately equal to m2. Vector r is equal to vector r1 minus vector r2, which is equal to vector r1 plus m1 by m2 into vector r1, which is equal to r1 into 1 plus m1 by m2, which is approximately equal to r1. Thus, when m2 is very larger than m1, vector r double dot is approximately equal to vector r1 double dot, and minus gm divided by r square into r cap is approximately equal to minus gm2 divided by r1 square into r cap. Hence, the motion of m1 looks similar whether the observer is at the center of mass or at the heavy mass. If the observer is at the center of mass, the heavy mass is at a small distance from the center of mass because modulus of vector r2 is less than modulus of vector r1, and it describes a circle of smaller radius. If the observer is at the center of mass or at the heavy mass, the lighter mass m1 will describe a circle of large radius. Changes in the values of total energy and angular momentum when two body central force problem is reduced to the equivalent one body problem. Total energy of system when the particles are considered as a two body system is equal to sum of kinetic energies of the two particles plus potential energy of interaction. E1 is equal to 1 by 2 into m1 into square of modulus of vector r1 dot plus 1 by 2 into m2 into square of modulus of vector r2 dot minus g m1 m2 divided by modulus of vector r1 minus vector r2. Angular momentum of the system is equal to sum of angular momenta of the two particles. Vector L1 is equal to vector r1 cross m1 into vector r1 dot plus vector r2 cross m2 into vector r2 dot. When the two body system is reduced to an equivalent one body problem, mu is equal to m1 into m2 divided by m1 plus m2. Total energy is equal to kinetic energy of the effective mass plus potential energy of interaction. E2 is equal to 1 by 2 into mu into square of vector r1 dot minus g into m1 m2 divided by modulus of vector r1 minus vector r2. Change in energy is equal to E2 minus E1, which is equal to minus 1 by 2 into m1 plus m2 into square of modulus of vector r, where vector r dot is equal to m1 into vector r1 dot plus m2 into vector r2 dot, all divided by m1 plus m2. The total energy of the system is decreased by an amount equal to the kinetic energy of the center of mass. Angular momentum of the system vector L2 is equal to vector r cross mu into vector r dot, which is equal to m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into vector r1 minus vector r2 cross vector r1 dot minus vector r2 dot. Change in the angular momentum is vector L2 minus vector L1 is equal to m1 into m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into vector r1 minus vector r2 cross vector r1 dot cross vector r2 dot minus of vector r1 cross m into vector r1 dot plus vector r2 cross m2 into vector r2 dot, that is equal to minus vector r cross m into vector v, which is equal to minus vector r cross vector p. Vector v is the velocity of the center of mass, that is vector v is equal to vector r dot, which is equal to m1 into vector r1 dot plus m2 into vector r2 dot, all divided by m1 plus m2. Hence, the angular momentum also decreases by an amount equal to the angular momentum of the center of mass. Motion under central force. We have seen that a central force is a force which can be expressed in the form vector f of r is equal to f of r into r cap. Under the action of the central force, the magnitude and the direction of angular momentum vector L remains constant. Vector L is equal to vector r cross vector p. Vector L is perpendicular to the plane containing vector r and vector p and is an axial vector. Since vector L is a constant, the plane of motion also remains constant. If vector L is taken along z axis, then vector r and vector p will lie in the xy plane. Let m be the reduced mass of the two-body system. F of r into r cap denote the radial force along the direction of increasing r, and f of theta into theta cap the force along the direction of increasing theta. But for central force, f of theta is 0 because vector L is a constant. Modulus of vector L is equal to m into r square into theta dot. D by dt of modulus of vector L is equal to d by dt of m r square theta dot, which is equal to 2m r into r dot theta dot plus m r square into theta double dot, which is equal to r into m r theta double dot plus 2m r dot theta dot, which is equal to r into f of theta, that is equal to 0. This means f of theta equal to 0. If vector ar is the radial acceleration and vector a theta is the transverse acceleration, then the equation of motion can be written as m into vector ar is equal to m r double dot minus m r into theta dot square into r cap, which is equal to f of r into r cap. Let it be equation number 1a. M into vector a theta is equal to m r theta double dot plus 2m r dot theta dot into theta cap, which is equal to f of theta into theta cap. Let it be equation number 1b. L is equal to m r square theta dot is equal to L by m r square. In equation 1b, we get f of theta is equal to 0. Equation 1a can be written as f of r into r cap is equal to m r double dot minus m r into L by m r square the whole square into r cap. M r double dot minus L square divided by m r cube, which is equal to f of r, that is equal to minus dou u by dou r. Let it be equation number 2. F of r is assumed to be central and conservative. So, f of r is equal to minus dou u by dou r. Dou by dou r of L square divided by 2m r square is equal to minus L square divided by m r cube. M r dot is equal to negative of dou by dou r of L square divided by 2m r square minus dou u by dou r. There is only one variable r. So, dou by dou r is replaced by d by dr. M r double dot is equal to minus d by dr of u plus L square divided by 2m r square. Let it be equation number 3. Multiplying both sides by r dot, we get m r dot r double dot is equal to minus of dr by dt into d by dr of u plus L square by 2m r square, which is equal to minus of d by dt of u plus L square divided by 2m r square. Integrating, we get 1 by 2 into m r dot square is equal to minus of u plus L square divided by 2m r square plus a constant. That is 1 by 2 into m r dot square plus L square divided by 2m r square plus u is equal to a constant, which is equal to E. Let it be equation number 4. The term 1 by 2 m r dot square is the kinetic energy. L square divided by 2m r square is the energy due to the rotational motion of the system. Because L square divided by 2m r square is equal to m r square theta dot the whole square divided by 2m r square is equal to 1 by 2 into m r square theta dot square, which is equal to 1 by 2 into I w square. And this energy is called the centripetal energy and u is the potential energy. Equation 4 can be written as r dot is equal to dr by dt, which is equal to 2 by m into E minus u minus L square divided by 2 m r square the whole raised to 1 by 2. dt is equal to dr divided by 2 by m into E minus u minus L square divided by 2 m r square the whole raised to 1 by 2. Let it be equation number 5. L is equal to m r square theta dot, which is equal to m r square d theta divided by dt. D theta is equal to 1 by m r square into dt. Theta is equal to integral from 0 to t L divided by m r square into dt. Let it be equation number 6. Equation 4 and 5 can be used to find the relation connecting r and t as well as theta and t. Energy diagrams for motion under central forces. Equation 3 can be written as m r double dot is equal to d by dr of u plus L square divided by 2m r square plus du dash divided by dr, which is equal to f dash of r, where u dash is equal to u plus L square divided by 2m r square. F dash of r is equal to minus du by dr minus d by dr of L square divided by 2m r square, which is equal to minus du by dr plus L cube divided by m r cube, which is equal to f of r plus L square divided by m r cube. Let it be equation number 7. The term L square divided by 2 m r square is the potential due to the centripetal force. Total energy is equal to 1 by 2 into m r dot square plus u dash, which is equal to 1 by 2 into m r dot square plus u plus L square divided by 2 m r square, which is equal to a constant. This equation is same as the equation 4. The variation of u L square divided by 2 m r square and u dash as a function of r for a central inverse force is as shown in figure 2 above. These graphs are called energy diagrams. The kinetic energy and centripetal energy are always positive, but the potential energy u and the effective potential energy u dash can be positive or negative. When modulus of L square divided by 2m r square is greater than modulus of u, u dash is positive, and modulus of L square divided by 2m r square is less than modulus of u, u dash is negative. There are 4 cases. Case 1, total energy E is equal to E1, which is greater than 0. E minus u dash is equal to 1 by 2 into m r dot square is the radial kinetic energy and is positive. The body cannot take a value for r less than that corresponding to the value E minus u dash is equal to 0 for E1 is equal to u dash. The body moves such that it has only one turning point at r is equal to r1 as shown in figure 2. So, the motion of the body is unbounded and this corresponds to scattering. This means the particle will start from infinity, move up to r1 and then will go back. The trajectory of the body will be a hyperbola. Case 2. Total energy E is equal to E2 is equal to 0. If the energy of the body has value E2 is equal to 0, then the smallest distance up to which it can approach is r2. If the body moves nearer than this distance, the kinetic energy E minus u dash is less than 0, which is impossible. The trajectory will be a parabola. Case 3, E is equal to E3, which is less than 0. The kinetic energy 1 by 2 into m r dot square is always positive. E3 is equal to u dash plus 1 by 2 into m r dot square is less than 0. In this case, u dash is negative and also modulus of u dash is greater than 1 by 2 into m r dot square. The total energy line for E3 intersects the u dash curve at 2 points A and B corresponding to the distance r3 dash and r3. The motion of the particle is therefore bounded between these two values. The orbits are closed and elliptic. These distances r3 and r3 dash are known as the position of the pericenter and the apocenter of the orbit respectively. These points are called aphelion in the case motion of planet around the sun. Case 4, E is equal to E4 is equal to u dash minimum. In this case, there is only one value for r is equal to r4 at which the radial kinetic energy is 0. In this case, the body moves in a circular path because u dash is minimum. So, du dash by dr is equal to 0. du by dr is equal to negative of d by dr of L square divided by 2 m r square, which is equal to L square divided by 2m r cube, which is equal to mr theta dot square. Hence, f of r is equal to m into r into theta dot square. The force acting on the body is equal to the centripetal force and hence it moves in a circular path. Let me summarize what we have discussed so far. The four fundamental forces in nature are gravitational force, electrostatic force, strong or nuclear forces and the weak forces. Two-body central force problem deals with the motion of two bodies under a mutual central force. When the two-body system is reduced to an equivalent one-body problem, the total energy of the system is decreased by an amount equal to the kinetic energy of the center of mass, and the angular momentum also decreases by an amount equal to the angular momentum of the center of mass. Now you can try to answer the questions given here. First one, what is reduced mass of a two-body system? Second one, why do we reduce a two-body problem to an one-body problem by using the concept of reduced mass? Third one, what is electrostatic force? Fourth one, what are the energy diagrams for motion under central forces? Fifth one, gravitational and electrostatic forces are inverse square force. Why? Now you can go through the books given here. First one, Central Force by Eric W. Weirstein, 2007. Second one, Engineering Mechanics Dynamics, 5th edition by J.L. Merriam and L.G. Craig. Third one, Classical Mechanics 2nd edition by H. Goldstein, 1980. Fourth one, Classical Mechanics of Particles and Rigid Bodies by Gupta and Kiran Chandra. Hope that you have enjoyed this session. Thank you for watching this program. Have a nice day.